Greetings, welcome to another episode of Soul Talk. I almost said the wrong title. Where we talk to citizens with members of the community. Today is February 10th, 2022. How are you doing, Griffin?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm alright. Had a little bit of a snafu on XSplit, but I'll work it out. But it's fine.
Don't tell the audience that you had a snafu. They don't need to know that. That's in-house information.
No, you're right.
Anyway, how was your week?
It's pretty good. I got to finish the Watchmen TV series. That was pretty good. I think that was 2 years ago, 2019, so 2 years ago.
Good series.
And it's pretty good. If you haven't watched it, check it out.
Yep, definitely a good series, yeah. You been keeping up with the Boba Fett thing?
No, I'm going to start that next.
Oh, you haven't even started it?
I haven't even started yet.
Oh, okay. Well, yesterday was the finale, so they wrapped up the season.
Right. I've been, well, let's say, I think I heard a couple of spoilers, but by the time I get to them, I'll figure them, so it should be fine.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people post some stuff that was like, why would you post that? On the cover of their YouTube thing. And it's like, why would you put that out there like that? That's like the dumbest thing in the world,
People got legit upset over the in-game spoiler when in-game came out, because a football player posted something and he caught a lot of flack. So wait a month, wait at least a week before you post the spoiler.
I mean, to me, it seems like you're going to get more hate than love, for doing it. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there are people that are going to log in and lay into you.
I also ordered the new Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 that was just announced yesterday, so I'm looking forward to that. But how about you? How was your week?
Yeah, another week. That's all I can say about it. It's another week. But it was good. It was good.
Oh, I thought you posted something about Lieutenant Uhura GoFundMe.
Well, I had posted that before. That was that's been going on for a little while now. Yeah, I had posted in our thing a little while back. Yeah, that there's been a GoFundMe to help her out. She's been this year. She did her final tour. She's not touring publicly anymore. She's suffering from Parkinson's, I think, or Alzheimer's. I forget which one it is or something.
Okay.
But there's a whole issue with a custody battle of who's managing her estate between her manager and a family member. And this has been going on for like maybe 4 or 5 years now. And so it was just kind of me bringing that back up since we kind of covered this stuff with Nichelle Nichols last week. I just kind of thought I should put up. Oh, yeah. It's been going since probably 2017, I want to say, roughly 2018. So it's been out for a little while.
Well, I just want to say before we get started, please join our Discord if you want to join our discussion. Drop down to the green room and we can bring it down. So please join us.
Yep.
So you ready for me to do my thing?
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
You got more to talk about?
Nope, not me.
I got to take a deep breath here. It's gonna be kind of long, but hopefully I can get through it. So here we go. You think I have no idea how complicated the situation is? You know what? You're right, and that's a good thing. We finally have a common struggle now. Think about that. For once, all the people who've been begging, and I mean literally begging for you to feel how hard any given day is, now you know. How does it feel to be helpless? Now, if you can remember what it feel like to be helpless and face a force so powerful that it can raise half a planet, you would know that you're about to have the same exact impact. This isn't about easy decisions, Senator. You can say I don't understand, but I'm a black man carrying a UE citizenship card. You know what I don't understand? What don't I understand? Every time I say I'm a citizen, I know there are people out there who are going to hate me for it. Even now, here, I feel it. The stare, the judgment. And there's nothing I can do to change it. Yet I'm still here. No fancy sip, no blonde hair, or blue eyes. The only power I have is that I believe we can do better. We can't demand that people step up if you don't meet them halfway. Look, you can throw the blank. Heck, you can terraform a planet with a message from your mobi-glass. You can feed 1 billion people with a bid card, with a bid call. But the question is, who is in the room when you are making those decisions? Is it the people who you're going to impact, or is it just more people like you? You got to do better, Senator. You got to step it up, because if you don't, the next imperial master will. And you don't want to see 2.0. People believe in their cause so much that they help them become authoritarian dictatorship. Why do you think that is? Look, you people have just as much power as a Vanduul fleet or a misguided teenager. The question you have to ask yourself is, how are you going to use it?
Totally got me on that one. And don't, because you ended up inserting Star Citizen stuff in it.
Yep.
It made it way more difficult to do so. I don't know, chat. Any of you guys got an idea in there? We got Dark Knight saying Zark. I'm gonna see if the chat says anything. If not, we'll bring down our guests and see if any of them got it.
How about okay. Thank you for the subscription, and I think I missed one. I think Pop subscribed too.
Yeah, so CC Creator did as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Yeah. All right, let me bring the group down and see if anybody has any answers for that one. All righty, we've got Pops in Space, Fist to Face, Dark Knight 75, and Admiral Kusanagi joining us tonight. Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Evening.
Any guesses, guys?
Have any guesses?
Man, no.
My thought was Oliver Zark, but I don't know.
Nope.
At first, I thought it was Deep Impact, but then he said some other stuff in it that threw me off, and I don't know.
Okay,
Sounded like an in-game character.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. Sharknado.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't Die Hard 2?
No.
He talked about destroying half the planet, so that kind of narrowed it, but I can't think of anything beyond that.
I'm thinking maybe like a
MCU.
Superman.
Marvel MCU.
Oh, from what you call it, the Avengers one?
Yeah, that's my hint.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know. It's not Black Lightning, is it?
That's not even Marvel.
That's DC. Okay. Damn. You know what? I got it mixed up.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
half the people.
I have yet to see that.
I haven't seen that. That's why. Yep.
Oh, that's a good series. Don't check it out.
Definitely. That's on Disney, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen any of the shows yet. I'm like so far behind.
My son and I started watching WandaVision. Those are interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I've heard that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
But before we get to the sneak peek, I wanted to bring up we have a we need your help. We need your opinion for a survey question. What Star Citizenship will never leave your buyback hanger?
Actually, there's more than that. There's a bunch of survey questions under our Twitter, so you might want to give them that general Twitter link that I dropped.
I thought it was just that one.
No, it's not just that one. No, there's a bunch of them in there I've been dropping the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah,
so that's why, okay, that makes sense now. So I'll just put in the Twitter, the main one. So you guys visit. My bad, I put the wrong link in.
If you can get it, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys visit our Twitter. We've got a few, and there are going to be some more going in tomorrow to help us with our show this Sunday. And the show this Sunday is going to be talking about which ships that you don't fly in Star Citizen. And we need you guys' opinion. So fill it out if you can. You can fill it out while you're watching the show even. Just
okay, I have a question. Do you want Soul Citizen members to fill it out as well?
Anybody.
Okay, anybody. Okay, good. So yeah, check out the link and fill out the survey, please. Thank you.
Okay, we got Cal Roddy joining us. Cal Roddy just joined us too.
Hey, Cal Roddy.
Hey, Cal Roddy.
What does this mean, though? What ship will never leave your buyback hangar? Like I'll never fly it, or I just won't buy it back ever again.
It'll never leave your hangar. That's what it says. Maybe it's because you just don't want to unmelt it, or you have no interest in it, or whatever. You're just not going to spend any more money on it because you got to spend money to get it out of there.
I have an answer, but I won't go over here. All right, so next up we have this sneak peek, and I love the caption in it. I put it on the stream. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm sorry, I didn't do the right voice. Only got $20 in my pocket. That's like the first song lyric I've recognized in months.
Dude, dude.
Oh, good.
What a
Good
great
one.
song.
Any thoughts, gang?
So people
That
can
definitely
see it
looks
on the
like a
screen.
station in Pyro.
Yeah.
Or
I was
could
just
be
going to say, what do
Levski,
people think?
but it's definitely probably Pyro. A station.
Could be Levski, could be not Grimhack, but could be Levski. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, though.
I keep saying we keep seeing this type of stuff, and it all seems to be pointing at Pyro. And I think that based on something that we'll talk about later that Jared says, that they're really putting an emphasis not just on Squadron, but Pyro. So, and usually when they show us stuff, it's only a matter of months. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, the last thing I want to say before we switch to the next topic is that this is awesome. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to
Awesome.
Yeah. Quick question: did you lose my camera, or did my camera go out? I don't know which one it is.
Oh, it should be on there, but maybe that's on me.
I don't know if it's on me or
See if I
you.
can
Let me
fix
see.
it.
No problem. I just checked. It is still working on my end, so maybe it's on
Yeah,
that
you're
end.
working. I think it's probably me. I'll grab
No
it
worries.
from a different place.
No worries. Let's go ahead and get this discussion started. You can drop it in while somebody's
next up,
talking.
we have the Squadron 42 monthly report. And hopefully Chris Knight will he did. Thank you. Oh, he'll put the link in there. But
That's right there.
they have a whole bunch of stuff in there. AI content, AI tech, animation, art, characters, engine, everything that they're trying to get through and not give us any spoilers. Does anyone take a look at it yet?
I have. When it comes to the Squadron 42 monthly report, I usually just look at the chapters to see how things are going. Because most of the other parts are usually a mirror of the monthly report for Star Citizen. So I normally just look at the gameplay story. So they seem to be continuing some work. And yeah, I guess we'll see how things go for next year. Well, not next year, but for the next month also.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also did some work on the Vandal animation too.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of work is actually going in, and they're trying to ramp it up. It looks like. I mean, it just from what I've seen in like the progress tracker, but they want to get it done. So I give them kudos. Get it done. That's basically it.
Yeah, of course, they never have any information. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I never noticed any information about Alpha Beta or how Evocati or the testing stuff is going. So, yeah, we don't know how close it is, but hopefully they're getting closer.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, right.
Well, they're talking about, I'm looking at it now, and they're talking about, checking the fuel diagnostic terminal and repairing damaged wings on a Gladius. So, hopefully these are things, and driving forklifts. So hopefully these are things that eventually see their way tested in the PU before this thing hits beta.
Yeah, you don't want another instant like Cyberpunk or something like that, or Andromeda. Andromeda was the worst. It had the worst beginning. That's not true. That's not true. The first Final Fantasy XIV had the worst beginning.
Oh no!
You're reminded, Calrati.
Yeah, but it came back.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have the Alpha-36 Postmortem modem. That tells you how old I am. So yeah, this came out a few days ago. Griffin, anything stick out to you? You want to cover?
Yeah, nothing in particular. I mean, the postmortem is always kind of revealing. I do like when they do this because they give us the whole what went well, what didn't go so well, and what they'll do in the future. And basically the areas they covered this time were vehicles, AI, locations in relation to the derelict ships, Jump Town 2.0. I really want to put it on the floor if there is anything that stood out to anybody, any of the guests that are here today. Maybe you guys might have something because we could talk about all of them, but maybe there's something that stood out.
I did notice something that they mentioned the V2 of high-tech outposts. So I was wondering
Yeah.
if, they're classifying Jumptown as a high-tech outpost or if they're referring to something else as a high-tech outpost.
Mm.
That's
I got the impression, well, maybe I read it wrong, but I kind of almost wonder whether or not they're saying that there's going to be something else, some other location other than what they currently have put in. Because, I've always said that I think Jumptown should be hop all over the place, right? I don't want it to be limited to 1 or 2 or 3 places. I literally think it should be like just multiple places where these drug things pop up, which force us. First of all, you don't come to get comfortable going to a certain place all the time. And I just think that the more variety of places you go in the verse, the better. And I know they're going to expand it once we expand outside of Stanton, but as far as I'm concerned right now, they could put in 3 more locations, so a total of 6 as far as I'm concerned. That would be great.
I think that they talk about, because I'm reading read it today too, about the differentiation of the different labs and the outposts in general, of making them unique to each, as opposed to copy paste for a lot of the outposts that we have now. We'll talk. I'm sure we'll get to this when we get to the ISC, but I could see that being something that they would consider thinking about, is making them a little bit more. More unique, as opposed to what we have now, which what they did is just kind of expand on what was already there, and actually put in something new, especially with these new features that are going to be coming in for outposts and stuff. So,
Calradi, I don't know, did you notice that they talked about expanding it as well, the drug lab, so that PvP could be broader? Because they said they want to make the whole facility much bigger, especially where you get the drugs from, so people can engage a little bit more. Because to a certain degree, there is a certain kind of clog. You know what I mean? When you're inside,
Yeah.
you can keep people, once you've got it locked down pretty good, it's hard to get folk get in there unless you decide to just go crazy and take a chance. So.
Exactly, and that would be so relieving when they do that. Like something like a blend between, like, the bunkers, like how open that space up, and of course having multiple entrances as opposed to one. So that'll be so relieving to have a much larger open space. Because
let me interrupt real quick. Big Black Gaming, thank you for the 5 subscriptions.
Ooh, thank you, BBG. Thank you. Appreciate that, and 750 bits too. Cool.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that, one of the things that not irked me, but I can see that there's room for improvement as well when they release the other outposts is, I mean, I talked about it before, but it was just how the current outposts for the jump towns are all on the surface. It makes it difficult when it comes to kind of infiltrating. So I really hope that, other outposts, when they release them, are more so underground and such. So to kind of give on foot people some more balance, some more opportunity.
Can they make it sort of way that I'm hoping they'll make it sort of way it's not airlocked, the entrances?
Oh, right. Like Kovalex, where you can just zip in and zip out.
Right, because if it's airlocked, then all you got to do is have somebody just sit there and camp and set up.
Right.
That's what happens right now. Is you just camp. You could tell when the person opens the door, and and you just kind of like you can even bring like boxes from outside and bring them to the door, and then create like these barriers in front of you, and then set up like that. And I hope maybe like you'll have like a sealed door, and then maybe you'll have to use a cutter to like cut through it. And
That might be
it'll
a
be
good
interesting if you
idea.
could you could actually weld something over that door if you were the team trying to defend it. So to give like an extra layer of defense. But I mean, that's probably even beyond what they're talking about right now. So
It would be cool though. Didn't they talk about at some point implementing the caves into this too? Or was that maybe hallucinating? For some reason or other, I thought that they had talked about like even doing something like caves, but
if they did, that'd be pretty cool.
Either they talked about it, or somebody was having a conversation about it. But I thought it would be kind of cool if they had, caves, any type of location that they could use it for.
I remember I had made a statement about that because currently on Daymar, there is near Kuja Ore mining closed.
Hmm.
Just above the surface, there's this really, really neat level just under the surface where an outpost can actually exist.
Mm.
So it's not too open, but there's still an entrance where a ship can actually access, but
Hmm.
it still gives opportunity for somebody to defend that ship entrance or push through to attack somebody. So a bomb or so cannot easily, bomb the outpost if it's under that surface. It's not so accessible.
Yeah.
So you'll have to be more strategic that way.
Cool.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. So next up we have, I think Adam Krishnagi posted it, but we have the CGI VFX team recruitment video. So we're going to take a quick look and then talk about that. So here we go. All right. And Isles Barton, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. 5 months. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, that was the CIG VFX team recruitment video 2022. I think I had a couple of scenes I hadn't seen before, or maybe I've forgotten. So what do people think?
They're hiring people.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
They're hiring. If you
Hiring
need a
pretty
job,
heavy too.
especially if you're in VFX, this is something. I mean, this is pretty cool. There's some things in there that I absolutely love, like watching that javelin blow up and the different ways that it
That was
kind of
so cool.
spread throughout the ship, and you saw the reactor go, and that was just really, really cool. And I think there's some Squadron 42 stuff in there that we didn't that we never saw before.
Yeah, it felt like I've seen. Maybe there's one or two scenes of Squadron 42 we haven't seen, or maybe we just forgot
Yeah.
about it because it's been so long since they posted anything about it.
Right. Yeah.
What
But
about
hey.
the leaves on the ground. I know they mentioned that
That's awesome.
I know where it's at. I know. I'm talking about the leaves specifically the tech for the leaves.
I know they talk about it on an ISC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
Pops is just saying
Yeah.
that that's one of the areas that they worked
That
on
they
in
were working
particular.
on.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
my bad. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because
I
this is
forget
my,
what they call it.
you know, I know they had the thing where they showed us the fire. They showed us that they, you know, the leaves, but I haven't seen it like that before. I don't know if anybody else has. Maybe I just missed it.
Or maybe it's updated. Because that was like several
Yeah.
months ago, so it's
Right.
probably
Several months
updated.
back. Okay.
This
Hmm.
fire spawning though, this looks like it's like beyond what we
Yeah.
saw originally though. This
Right.
is new right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just
Definitely.
say that it took 30 minutes for the 600 to burn up. That Drake's burning up in no time flat. Just keep that in mind.
We don't know when it started, Griffin. We don't know when it started.
It's all right. No,
You know what
actually, what I was impressed. I'm sorry, Fitz. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say for me, when I see this video though, I know this is a recruiting video, but what I see though, because I've been kind of paying attention to like Unreal Engine and a lot of their tools that they use, I kind of see what that this is going to probably go into that area where they'll probably have this like in the same category like Unreal Engine, but they'll have these tools available to the general public later on. For the content creators and stuff like that, for that creating community, because this is really good. I mean,
Well, I know there's supposed to be some modules that's supposed to be released. Excuse me. I don't know if that. No, I forget if it's probably for Squadron 42, but yeah, that's in one of the stretch goals, I believe. But yeah, they're definitely going to have modules for the community.
Yeah, and there's a difference too, Fist, and the difference when you're dealing access to the mod tools versus the engine. And Unreal Engine is being available and accessible. I'm not so sure CIG is going to do that for a couple reasons. One, the profitability for them to lease it out to other companies to develop games where they make money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you may get some aspect of modding. But one of the things about this is, if you notice, they said cinematic effects.
Right.
And to me, that's
exactly what I think.
That's a real big deal here because, some of those scenes, especially like that sequence you mentioned, Dark Knight, where I've never seen when the javelin is blown up. That looks amazing. I've seen the Idris plenty of times, but I've never seen the javelin. And even on here, I know it looks probably even better when you're in person, but that looks like movie quality stuff there.
That's what I'm talking about, like licensing it out. Like, you know how Weta was brought up by Unity.
Right.
So I'm thinking when I watch this and I'm looking at when they talked about cinematic VFX quality things, I'm like, wow, okay, I think that this is where they're possibly looking, at, to the future and things like that.
Yep.
Movies.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
The one thing I want to add is at least they didn't show the 600i during the fire propagation.
Yeah, they didn't have to. That's 30 minutes, DK. Just remember that. It took 30 minutes to burn that one wall.
That's right. That's true.
The caterpillar was flaming, and the hammerhead was flaming. So there you go.
Well, this is
So what you're saying, though, the 600i has more fire retardant.
I'm just saying you get what you pay for, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
This brings up
wire just hanging out. Yeah.
This just brings something out. When you're talking about the movie stuff, is that if you remember the MSR commercial, well, I should say the story. Like they could easily use this technology and make like Adult Swim. Episodes like have like an actual Star Citizen like TV show like set up like this, like in-game engine type stuff, and just make it, and people would buy like you can actually buy this. Like I can watch this on TV, like watch a storyline between people talking, and then just go play the game, and it looks exactly the same. Are you kidding me? Like that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I see your moment. Steel don't burn. I like that. Yep.
Yeah, good point.
Big Black. I see your comment here about comments about delays and so on and so forth. I think that people who are the industry people, though, they talk to each other. It's like any industry you're in, right? You talk to other folks who are in the industry, and they have the real lowdown on what things are. I'm not so sure that the stuff that we see, like things that are published by periodicals and magazines, impact the hiring. Because CIG has been, if you've ever gone to their website and looked at their hiring, they're almost always hiring. I mean, like almost always. And people come and go. They've had people who
Yeah.
come in, they're there for a certain level of the development, like concept artists and stuff like that. Then they go, then they bring in artists, and that's just part of the industry thing. But to your point, whether it's going to impact them because of the delays or whether or not when people see the true progress of the company, whether they'll want to join up will be very, very interesting to see.
Mm.
Yeah, if someone wants to bring up the CIG hiring page, recruitment page, I could put it in the Discord, and someone can copy and paste it. Because I mean, I don't know, like there was a point where there were like 142 openings. I don't know how many they have now, but yeah,
135.
155. Yeah.
135.
Oh, okay.
Go up? Seems like it went up.
So does this video make anyone want to join CIG?
It makes me wish I had stayed on my computer design. That's what it makes me wish I do.
Yeah.
It's
You would join?
amazing.
It's still not too late, Griff. It's still not too
No,
late.
it's too late, brother. I'm not moving. I'm not
Hey,
moving
listen,
nowhere.
you might be able to run, write a little bit of code, maybe like one particle.
The most I'd be is a tester. I would get as far as being a tester, and that would be it. I'm not getting into any programming or code. That's it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a big
Yeah,
thing.
but it's amazing what they come up with. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Chris and I
Kudos to
posted
them.
the link. I'm gonna try to put it in the window so you guys can see.
All right, thanks, Admiral.
Thank you.
Hey, Buster.
Oh yeah.
Buster,
Thanks for the raid.
raid,
Buster.
Hey, thanks,
Sure,
Buster.
thank you for the raid, and thank you everyone for joining us. We're talking about currently talking about the CIG recruitment video that they put out recently. So this is the video. We already went through it, but now we're talking about the openings that the CIG had. So we had 15 in Los Angeles, 9 in Austin, 31 in Frankfurt, and 20 in Manchester. I'm not going to go through each one, but yeah, if anyone interested in joining, they're hiring. So
There you go. And they've definitely hired people from the community in the past. So, that's one thing I think is very cool. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ARM show developers out there that need a job. I'm sorry, I had to put it out there.
No, that was good. That was good.
Hey, DK, I respectfully disagree with you. There are too many armchair developers out there that don't need to be working at CIG.
Weed them out. They'll weed them out.
Oh, man.
Okay, touch the subject. Let's move on.
All right.
You remember that painting that was like in Italy, and then it was like the town artist was gonna fix it, and it was like, I don't know, like it's 500 years old, and he just like destroyed it because he said he could fix it. It was just like this. It was like a 5-year-old did it. I was like, oh my god! I've seen like that and like a painting of Jesus that someone thought they could fix, and it was just like, oh my god.
All right. So next up, we have congratulations to the winners of the Red Festival 2952 Screenshot contest. So we have first place they won a RSI Constellation Andromeda, second place the Saber, and third place the Nomad. And the winners are posted.
I think you know one of them, Fast Cart.
What?
You know one of them.
Oh yeah, Lieutenant Dan. I know him.
Yep.
So I don't know which order they're in. If it's left to right or
They're in order. They're in order.
They're in order. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Dan,
the first
yeah.
one is Lieutenant Dan. So I'll put that right up here right now. And yeah, so what do people think? That's the one from Lieutenant Dan. And evidently he put a whole he gave NPC a whole lot of red letters. So
That took a lot of time to stack.
For real.
Yeah.
and the guy that's on Nilly too.
That's a
pretty
cool
cool.
picture, though.
It is.
Yeah.
And the next one is from CV. CV. I'm not even going to pronounce the name, but this is second place.
Here we go.
I do like this one. This is real romantic.
Aww.
Real romantic. What planet do you think that is? Oh, moon or whatever.
Only
Oh, that's Microtech. The only place that's got something like that biome.
Yeah.
And the final one is Ice Wave. And this is probably my favorite one. That is my favorite one.
Very cool.
Oh, okay.
That took some time, too.
Yeah, right?
Put all those plushies around like that. Okay.
And plus, you got to put it somewhere where no one will mess with you too.
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
Right?
that's sitting right out. It looks like it's right outside of the residence.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all pretty cool. Yeah, I think I didn't. Did any of you guys enter this year for this?
No.
Oh, I didn't.
No, I was just admiring the pictures.
Once in a while, I like to enter these things. I can't remember. I did one or two like last year, but I actually have flown with Lieutenant Dan, in the verse, and it's just like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just taking some pictures. So everything he's always taking like snapshots and stuff like that. So it's really cool that he was able to win this one. So congrats to him and the other winners too.
Yep. So good job. Next up we have the Consolidated Outland stuff. So I'm going to start it and we can all take a look.
Hey, meet me at our spot.
And I didn't notice that they put closed captions at the end, so that's kind of cool of them. So I appreciate that. So yeah, that was the HoverQuad trailer, and it just happened to coincide with the Coramor celebration. So before we get to the HoverQuad specifically, what do people think about the trailer that came out?
Oh,
It was
maybe
cute.
good inside.
It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The paint looks cool. I like the pearlescent.
Mm-hmm.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I ain't buying one.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of something Prince would buy, right?
Prince.
Right, you
Purple
talking
Rain.
about
You talking about Prince?
Yeah, Prince ain't buying nothing right now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm
Right. Oh,
saying,
wow.
but
Oh, my goodness.
instead of little red Corvette, it'll be little purple HoverQuad.
So, Fist, you just don't like the color of it, or what?
No, I said I like the pearlescent. I'm just not buying the bike.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
I know we'll get there.
I like the bike. I mean,
You still not buying one?
No, I'm not buying one. but-
Okay.
no, it's a.
I bought the
nice
paint.
It's a nice looking bike. That's
Mhm.
for sure.
I bought the paint. I didn't buy the bike, but I bought the
Wait till
paint.
you,
You know.
wait till you watch
Hold
this
on
next
to it.
section.
Wait. You bought the paint, but you don't have the bike?
Yeah, I buy the bike in the
what?
game.
Yeah, you could get the bike in game and
Oh,
then use
yeah,
the
yeah,
paint
yeah.
on it then. You don't have to.
Oh,
See,
okay.
but
All right.
this is where this is the thing though. Like with those paints, they look so good. I would just wish you could just buy the paint and it'd be universal.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's
But
what
how would
Oh,
they
the
make
color.
money if they do
Mhm.
that?
What do you mean
How would they
universal?
make money if they do that?
You could use it on.
I
You
know
could
what
use
you're
it on
talking about,
any
though.
bike.
Well, it's like a bucket of paint. You can't like buy a bucket of paint and then throw it on a constellation because you're gonna need more buckets. So it's gonna be X dollars and stuff like that. Yeah.
But still in all,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think, all right, let me. I'm saying, I don't want to go too much into this, but if you think about, if you bought the paint, like you said, to get as a blueprint, right?
Mhm.
You have that paint, and let's say you go to what is it, Cousins Crows?
Okay, I
And
see where you're
Cousin
going.
Crows,
say,
exactly.
yeah, right. And Cousin Crows says, okay, well, you got the paint. Well, look at here. We need you. You need this amount of money in game to, paint this whole ship. Okay, here you go. Boom.
So
And that
we-
that may come later too. I don't think, Fist, that your idea is too far off. I think it's just the fact that right now it's about generating revenue,
generating revenue or supporting the project, yeah.
right, for the project. But you're absolutely right. I think later on, access to paints is going to change, and the numbers are going to, because the paint is stupidly high in the game. It's like 100,000.
Ooh,
It's
it's like, yeah.
stupidly high.
Oh,
Yeah, it ain't cheap. It ain't
Paint is
cheap.
as much as a dragonfly.
Easy. Yep.
So we could talk more about the paint in a bit because we do have a page just for that. But for now, let's talk about the specifically about the HoverQuad. So, is anyone going to get the HoverQuad?
In game.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a
Wait, whoa. Hold
great
on.
looking
Wait a
ship,
minute.
but
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not.
Wait a minute. You said you're gonna get it?
Can you let me finish, son?
Go ahead.
Can you let me finish? Every time I said I'm gonna get it, in game for the
Okay.
fifth time.
You got me sweating over here.
Man,
I mean,
All right.
he
I'm a-
even said, "Can you let him finish?" And as soon as he said in game, we say, "Okay." You just can't help yourself. Can you finish?
So let me ask a question. And everybody I talked to before this came out today was estimating that this bike was going to be $40 to $50 roughly. Do
Yeah.
you think that CIG was incredibly smart by pricing this at $25 with LTI?
Oh, it's only 25. Oh, I'm getting it.
Whoa,
Yep.
whoa, wait a minute. Wait a
Yep.
minute. Okay,
That was the
wait a
smartest
minute.
thing they could have done.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I didn't know that part. See, Colossal, if he's still here, left that out.
Why you looking at Colossal?
So since I haven't said if I bought it or not, I bought 3.
You bought 3?
I bought
Okay.
3. I bought the Valentine's
Okay.
paint, and I bought the white and bronze paint. But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm gonna
See-
keep 1. Probably use 2 for tokens.
Best LTI
Yeah.
token
Okay.
ever.
All right. This
I
changes
would-
everything now.
No,
Yeah, for
it's not the best
$25.
LTI token ever because the P52 Merlin was about the same price. So
No,
Okay.
but this
but that was like 5
currently,
years ago.
currently, this is the
Currently,
best
yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
This is the best deal.
Yeah, $25 for LTI.
Soon
Okay,
as the
yeah, all
show
right.
is
See,
over.
there you go. There, see, that's
Wait
the
a
flip
minute.
order there.
Wait, Vince got the credit card out.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, I thought all of you guys were protesting and not going to buy nothing else from CIG.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Y'all was mad because they took the roadmap down and y'all was
Oh,
stomping.
No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who are you talking about,
Y'all
Drift?
was in
I
the
didn't say that.
category. Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
no,
it
I
was
wasn't.
maybe. I thought.
I just said I was taking a break.
No. I know, but I was
You're
talking
still
about
playing.
I'm just teasing about the uproar last week.
No, I
can't
get
pick
you.
it
No.
on you.
You know me. I know. I get what you're saying. No. See, now I did not know that $25. This particular version had the LTI because I asked Colossal just a half an hour ago. What was on here.
Yeah.
As far as the
He's in
if
chat.
it had
Let
LTI.
me
And he
tell
said
you-
no.
Let me tell you
He said
guys
6
this.
months.
Now, all these folks said they wasn't going to spend money. And this is the funny thing. I get people how they feel about the game and everything. This morning, after this bike went on sale, within the first hour, they had made like $150,000,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
On
Okay.
a $25 bike.
And the kicker is what people forget about is this. For those of us who have been around for a while, we might be salty. But the fact that CIG is bringing in so many new players who are very excited about the game and enjoying the game, they don't have that same motivation of saying, well, we're not going to give CIG any more money. And so that's the thing that makes it kind of difficult to be impactful. I think that they priced this bike. I didn't expect it to be this low. I thought it was going to be like around $35 because of it not having weapons and shields, but it has storage and it handles way better than any other bike. I bought one, and I only bought one because I have it accompanying the Nomad because it fits for the Nomad.
And did you get the $5 off? I know that Sandgroper brought that up too. About that
Yeah,
discount.
I got that, and I did get the purple paint. I didn't get. I just matched that with the ship, but I got it because when you're doing bunker missions, this is one of those opportunities. And I think some of you all may have seen Morphologist's video a couple weeks ago where he did it with the Avenger. But what he said was it's the perfect marriage for when you want to do bunkers, when you want to land outside of a turreted area, get on your bike and ride in and be able to not have to deal with cannons and turrets and missiles and all that stuff. But for $25, I didn't buy it as an LTI token. I bought it because I liked the bike, and that was it. But any other bikes, like you said, you can get them in game. The price is so low. Work for it in game.
Okay. But that
What I
LTI
think
token
I'm going
changed
to
the
do is
game.
I'll probably buy one as an LTI token and then put it in my buyback. So in case I ever wanted again, I can just use an LTI token, not the LTI token, the buyback token to get it back and have it
Oh,
back.
that's true.
Well, you bought 4 bikes today. Why don't you tell them why you bought 4 bikes today?
4 bikes. Ooh,
I
okay.
bought 4 bikes because we're giving it away, and we're going to do a giveaway on our 100th episode. That'll be on the last weekend of March. So
All
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
So Griff, you said you thought it was 100,000 that they earned. How much do you think it is right now?
No,
'Cause
no,
I'm
no,
looking
no,
at it
no.
right
For
now.
no. How much they made earlier? Ooh, how much is now at this time of day? I have no idea because people have come home and seen it and probably ridden around on it now. So how much have they brought in today?
Today the go ahead, fast car if you want.
No, you go ahead. I was
It looks
going
like they made.
to look it up.
I have no idea.
Looks like they made 724,000.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Wow.
Off $25.
Woo, baby.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I mean,
And-
that's okay.
And there are a lot of people in our community that buy for LTI token reasons, if for no other reason. So at that price. But then again, I think everybody who I've talked to who's driven this bike likes this bike. I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, I don't like it," blah 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 blah. Even though it doesn't have the shields, even though it doesn't have weapons, it's designed to be something that you get on and get from here to there.
Right. It's kind of almost meet that recreational.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
Okay.
very nimble.
It is. It's very nimble, handles very well. If you need to stop on a dime, you don't do all that drifting, and it's super fast. I think
Yeah, it is.
Nuberfire's video talked about it today. This thing does Mach 2 in speed.
It's supposed to be like the Nox
That's
and
a
the
bug, though.
Dragonfly are supposed to be faster, like straight line.
Straight
Mhm.
line.
But this thing
Yeah.
is like supposed to be super nimble, and the little pads on the bottom, like with all the lights and stuff, those are supposed to turn and rotate as you're doing your maneuvers and stuff like that. But those that animation is not in game yet.
Gotcha.
So let me re-ask. Now that we know that the price is $25 for the LTI version, who is not going to get one now? Who's not going
I'm
to
still
get
getting in the
You
game.
mean spend cash? You mean because
Who's
they're still
the
saying they're
cash,
going to get it.
Nah,
I was
to
tempted.
25, I'm gonna have to.
I thought it was
Consider.
going to be 40. I thought it was going to be $40.
I thought so. I mean,
That was the
25.
going
I'm gonna
rate,
have
yeah.
to.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, they do have an LTI
alright.
limited time bundle, but this is only for 6 months insurance. But you can get all the paint job for $40. I don't know why they didn't do that one for Warbond, but hey,
The package that I do like is that you can get the Nomad and the bike together. So for somebody who's starting
that's
out
this one.
as a starter, that's a great thing for
Yeah,
anybody who's going to
yeah,
start
for
who needs a
$9.
bike and a vehicle.
Yeah.
I have to say they pulled off the Cybertruck introduction really well with the HoverQuad going into the back of the Nomad. That is pure Cybertruck introduction that Elon Musk did with his quad going into the back.
I
of
didn't
that
think
truck,
about that.
so.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Miss Hart, thank you for the raid.
Oh, thank you,
Hey,
Miss
Miss
Hart.
Hart.
Hey,
Thanks,
Hey.
Hearts.
thanks so much.
Hey, Miss Hart.
Right now, as you can tell, we're talking about the HoverQuad, and people, it's the new LTI token, the new hotness, I dare say. So yeah.
Plus, which is interesting, the Mustangs you can get with LTI. Am I correct in that?
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, their packages this time for starters is that they all
255.
come as LTI, which is and rare. And Nuberfire mentions that it's very rare where ships that have already come out get the LTI piece again, but the Mustangs do in this package.
That's very
And
smart.
the problem is it's all in one pack. So I mean, if you upgrade one and you want to change your mind, you have to melt the whole pack and start over again. So yeah, but $255 for all the Mustangs and the Nomad and the HoverQuad. $285 if you want to use all the tax credit. So even then, that's not a bad deal. Next up, we have the Q&A. Griffin, you want to cover anything that interests you?
Well, in the Q&A, a lot of this we've already kind of heard about because they've been talking about this bike for a little while. But you guys know that they talk about it does fit, obviously, designed for using with the Nomad. But they also say if you can fit a PTV into a ship, then the HoverQuad will probably fit into that ship as well. And As you guys know, I mentioned earlier, no shields, no weapons, but it does have cargo space, and the cargo is just for carrying small things like rations, medical supplies, things of that nature. There's no gun racks on it. All the components are typical bike upgrade, like any other bike would be. And other than that, yeah, I can't think of anything else that really stood out unless somebody else has something.
Yeah, they said that this is slower than the other speeders, but in turning corners it's better. It's more agile.
Mm-hmm.
So we already covered that, but
Olufex,
yeah.
it doesn't fit in the 400i lift, but it does fit nicely in the cargo bay. It's too wide for the lift.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
tried.
DK, just keep with the X1s. Just keep the X1s in there.
I know.
Don't lower the grade of your ship by putting anything else in there. Just keep it with the X1.
I do put the Nox in the front, but until the X1 comes.
Until the X1 comes out, okay.
It doesn't have shields, it doesn't have guns, but it does have character, and I'll give it that.
Yeah. I'm interested. Do you guys think that Consolidated is going to be shifting into this whole hover mode now, since we've seen that happen with the Nomad and now this bike? Versus, is this going to be like their new generation of how Consolidated ships will come out, where they all have that hovering dynamic to them?
I hope so.
I think they would, especially with the Pioneer. I don't know. I have a feeling that we're going to see a bit of a shakeup in the redesign of it too. And of course, I mean, if we're applying, like, say, a hover design for the Pioneer, it makes it a bit easier for building a base or so.
Moving around.
Yeah.
Good point.
So
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of weight, though.
I think it's gonna still.
Oh yeah.
I would think it would still land, but you probably take off really easy and shift over and then plant. But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just gonna hover there. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, as far as look go, I still prefer the Nox. But if I were to buy or have any in my hangar, I would probably get the Ranger, because I love the idea of riding a motorcycle in game.
Griff, are you disappointed that the X1 isn't out now because this came out before it?
Nope, not at all. The longer it takes, the better it is. No, actually, they have a very cool animation out for the X1. I don't know if you've seen it, where they show where all of the components and stuff go in and out. It is a much more animated bike than probably any of the bikes that we have in the game. And I know that we saw it when the 400 came out. They gave us a glimpse of it, so I'm not expecting that it's going to be much longer before that bike comes out.
Soon, hopefully.
All right. So next up we have Coramor 2022. Lovers in the air all across the verse. Get out there and find your perfect match. So Coramor is a holiday celebrated annually throughout the UAE on February 11th. Not going to read the whole thing, but yeah, you can put the link in quick chat so people can go along. But we already showed the
I'm trying to
video.
figure out how to spell Coramor. So
Coramor?
Coramor.
Oh, I already put it in. I just had a look.
Oh, okay. Yep, you got it right.
They're making up English, so I have to figure out how to spell it.
Is it English actually? I mean, they can make up a whole Guion language. So.
Yeah, I think they just kind of mixed amor as in for love.
Oh, you got to read the lore.
Yeah, Corazon.
Because there was we found
Yuri and Corazon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what I mean. When you said amor, I just realized Stevie Wonder when I heard that.
Yeah. Nobody's saying, okay?
I was about to do
it. My Sherry Amor.
I don't know.
Man.
No,
we're not. Admiral's trying to bait. Admiral's baiting.
I don't know it, to be frank, to be honest, but I'm just saying.
But speaking of paint jobs, so you have a limited time to get these paint jobs. So we got one for the HoverQuad, Nomad, the Ares, and you get all of them for under $19 US dollars. And you also can get the ships specifically, and I believe they just add the value of the paint job on top of the ship, and none of these are war bonds, so none of them will be LTI.
Okay, you know what?
I have a quad again. Nomad.
I like this. I like that paint job for the Ares. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Surprised they put it on the Ares. Why the Ares?
You have all the ships, right?
I
It
do
didn't
not
make
know.
any
Oh,
sense.
It's probably
They did it on
new,
purpose.
and probably it's probably one of the ships that don't have that many paint jobs. So to say, hey, why not?
I
But
don't know.
yeah,
Didn't they just put out a few of them for that one? Maybe
few,
it's a
Yeah.
I love you with my size 7. Maybe that's
Could be it.
Say hello to my
You
little
know-
friend.
uh-huh.
That ooh-wee. Yeah,
I
that's
do like the colors.
Yeah,
The colors nice.
darkness. It's new. I hear you, man.
Actually, all
but
those
also-
colors. This is one of the few paint sets I actually like. Almost all of the colors.
Mm.
The one that they did with the yellow and orange is a little bit ants for me, but I do like the white and copper, and I like the one that they did for the Coramor color.
Yeah, isn't it similar to the what's that, the Gattack, right?
There's it's like the Gattack, that color there. It's similar to it, yeah. And I think that color paint job, that other one, that orange and yellow one, there's an orange and yellow one like that for the Nomad, because that black and red one is identical to that as well. So it's called a different name, but it's the same paint design.
This color scheme kind of remind me of the railing in the concept art.
Yeah, that's what he was just asking about.
Okay, the cock. Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Gattack, really.
Also, they have the Heartseeker back, and yay, because I've been waiting for this for like 6 months. I turned my Taurus into the Heartseeker. So now I have a Heartseeker again. Well, my first, not again, but yeah. And that's up for a limited time. It's not LTI as far as I can remember. I think it's just normal insurance, but it's a limited ship. So if you want one, get one. But they do have a Warbond offer. So you can, if I click on it, I believe it's $10 off. So you have the Warbond edition is $10 off. So instead of paying $15 to upgrade from a Super Hornet, you can pay $5.
Or you get LTI and pay $25 for the HoverQuad and CCU Warbond to the Heartseeker, and you get LTI.
That's true also. Yep. Anything that's available right now, or that you have a CCU for in the past, you could probably get a HoverQuad and get an LTI ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, is anyone beside me interested in the Heartseeker? Am I the only one?
No.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's basically a lasered version instead of the ballistic version of the Super Hornet. But yeah, I like it.
I'm a big Super Hornet fan. I think the ship needs a little bit of love.
Until the Saber came out, the Super Hornet was the meta. Like everyone was monoboarding, putting all the same size and type of weapon on the Super Hornet, and that was only for Arena Commander back then because you didn't have the baby PU out back then. But yeah, the Super Hornet was the meta, and so I like the way it feels. I like the way it flies. So
Cool.
All right. So next up we have a contest for Coramor. Let me bring that up real quick. And this contest is you have to February 11, 2096, viewer disappeared while trying to reunite with his lover, Tan, who became trapped behind a recently collapsed jump point in the Oritani system. During his search, Yuri would send emotional daily comms to Cora's pain, updating them on his search. The latest which was unintelligible except for anything for Cora or more. Yuri was never heard from again, though his message lived across the UE till this day. And so the contest is, we're challenging you to complete Yuri's final message by filling the 3 blanks represented by the dot in the message below. ... anything for Cora, ... or more, ... You can add a word or a full sentence into each space to complete the last tragic word of UE most famous hopeful romantic. Writers of the top 3 mushiest messages will be rewarded in-game for their trouble. First place get an Ares Ion with LTI. Second place get a Nomad with LTI. in third place to get a HoverQuad with LTI. So is anyone going to try to enter?
No,
Probably
me.
not.
Yeah, I don't do.
No?
I don't really do contests.
Okay.
There are going to be
Well,
some really interesting submissions, I have a feeling.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I might try just to see, try my luck, but I look at the competition first to see if I can come up with anything better.
Well, we know
we'll
you
see.
could write. You wrote the last song for New Soul.
Yeah, but this is different, though, This is different. All right, so next up we have the Twitter Tuesday trivia. So some of you may already know the answer, but just in case. Tuesday trivia: which company was founded by a half orphan and donate part of its profit to those in need?
I'll let you guys go because I already know the answer.
I got nothing.
Anybody know?
Nobody knows?
All right,
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead, DK.
Crusader.
Crusader. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
Yep, it's Crusader.
Yep, and
Crusader
that was
is
the answer.
philanthropy. Was their thing.
Yeah, so the winner was Luke Damaris, August Dunlow, founder of Crusader Industries. I did not know this one, so I had no clue. But congrats to the person who got the answer. So cool. All right, so next up we have the Inside Star Citizen. So I think we're just going to jump into that. And so this is a full 10 minute, but there's no real break in here, so I think we're just going to let it go all the way until the end. So here goes the Inside Star Citizen.
Welcome to an all sprint report edition of Inside Star Citizen. I'm Jared Huckabee, and let's get into it. Following our look at new derelict concepts a couple weeks ago, members of the environment team have begun the process of building the individual pieces that can be used to bring them to life, starting with the big mammer jammer itself, the Reclaimer. Now this is sort of like a reverse white box phase, where environment artists take the completed work of ship artists and then begin to break it down, stripping it of all the extraneous parts and then bending and twisting the superstructure in ways appropriate for a wreck that's 1, 2, or perhaps even 10 years old. What you're seeing here is the beginnings of a derelict zoo, as it were, creating the buffet of basic forms that designers and other artists will be able to pull from to continue their specific work, building out the various points of interest players can explore on the planets and moons of Stanton, Pyro, and beyond. It's early days, and this simple Reclaimer derelict zoo will continue to evolve over the coming weeks, in addition to many of the others seen in previous concept arts ahead of their systemic implementation into the persistent universe proper. The team is also exploring early advanced traversal opportunities for some of the outlaw space stations currently being built for the Pyro system. If you remember the most recent CitizenCon demo, advanced traversal are ways to get around or through an environment beyond the critical path most people usually stick to. Now, by following a variety of indicators still being developed, including simple things like tracing the path of an unusual cable or scratch marks on the floor, the players can discover these advanced traversal paths designed to lead not just to interesting tactical opportunities, but special loot and content rewards for those who spend a little extra time exploring. As for everything else you're seeing here, this is still very much a work in progress, with only the earliest of lighting, texture, and prop passes being complete. But it's a neat look at how these stations are pushing not just into new dynamics visually, but a universe of possibility for additional exploration as well. And like with the outposts you saw at CitizenCon, they won't be assembled the same way each and every time, so you can never be too certain what's around any corner. Members of the environment team also took a sprint to explore something on our backlog namely the addition of small and medium-sized hangars to the ring structure of some space stations. It's a small touch, but these small touches, they add up to make for a more dynamic landing and takeoff experience as players travel across the Star Citizen persistent universe. Let's switch gears here. From bounty hunting to mining, from emergency response to racing to espionage and security, as the reputation system continues to grow and expand within Star Citizen, so too must the interface that represents it. To that end, explorations are underway mapping out the representative icons for some of the various mission-type career paths currently in development for the persistent universe. Now, in a recent sprint, icons for several more reputation paths were proposed, including kidnapping, hauling, smuggling, and theft. Now, these aren't the full array of possible reputation paths, just a few that the UI team is currently making icons for, but we'll be covering more about this massive expansion of the reputation system and the various mission types and activities that go along with it as development continues. Yes, I can already tell that some of you are a little too excited to build your reputation in kidnapping, and it bothers me. Meanwhile, the lighting team recently completed a sanity pass on the RSI Mantis cockpit. Now, these sanity passes are essential in ensuring the latest tech and process improvements reach assets that were built prior to their implementation, as well as keep some of the older stuff just looking as good as the newer. Now, this happens on everything, and the Mantis here is just the most recent example of updates that don't just make the visual appearance better than before, but are also more performative and less resource intensive. That's our version of tastes great, less filling. They can also serve as terrific training opportunities to pass knowledge from older employees onto our newer hires as the company continues to grow. And speaking of growth, let's take a quick jaunt over to Orozen and look at some new executive offices being developed. Now, these structures would be placed out on some of the raised landing platforms and provide a small, self-contained working area for Orozen's bureaucracy, including an elevator down into the inner depths of platforms beneath. Of course, as for what adventures players may one day find in such an area, I'm not telling. Mostly because I don't know yet. I missed a meeting. Let's move on to some ship updates with this look at the continuing final art phase of the Vulture from Drake Interplanetary, where you can see all sorts of the smaller details you'd expect to see while unifying some of the scale reads where some items in the back half seem to feel a little more chunky compared to those in the front. It's pretty much just tightening things up and finishing them off now ahead of Salvage's intended release later this year. But before that happens, we've got the MISC Hull A barreling towards completion at the end of this quarter, where its final art pass continues adding all the various decals and decorations you might expect. But disclaimer here, those aren't the correct cargo boxes you're seeing here. The ship didn't just massively increase in size. It's just an artist having a little fun. They're also adding the trademark MISC turret underneath the cockpit and continuing to refine the expanding and contracting cargo grid for all your shipping needs. Now, we'll be talking more about the Hull A later this quarter before its intended release in Alpha 3.17. Of course, in Merchantman news, the team continues Whitebox phase, working through the entirety of the ship's interior in their efforts to fully map it out before going into Graybox. You can see some of the main bridge here with the pilot seats up front and the staircase to one of the primary turret rooms above. In Whitebox phase, it's simply about making certain every space has a purpose, has the room for players to achieve that purpose, and to do so with the signature organic shapes that have come to identify the Banu thus far. Moving down to engineering, work continues making certain everything is symmetric. Now, last time we showed it, the stairs here were getting just a little too pinched, so they've opened up the area a bit, trying to make the whole room feel nice and grand within the confines of the current exterior. And then in the habitation area, you can see the beginnings of a Banu shrine that we'll explore more of in the future. And then here we have the interior turret area we mentioned before, which is shaping up to be quite different from any other turret you've experienced before, evoking that same sense of scale found throughout other areas of the ship. It's a massive gun, and this massive space that houses it is actually open to the decks below it, which should make for quite the view before the turret forms down around you and sucks you up into it, raises above the exterior of the ship, and then lets you pew-pew to your heart's content. Yeah, merchantman people, this one's going to be worth the wait. And finally, before we let you go, we started this week with derelicts and a mention of those colonialism outposts, so let's combine the two and look at an initiative the teams undertook to explore outposts of days gone past with these concepts that you can see here. Now, one of the many projects the team at Turbulent is working on are the systemic tools that will one day bring these to life across the Pyro system. But as with all concepts, artists must first explore the ideas further and set the goals for those systems to build towards. And just like the Reclaimer derelicts from before, work has also begun creating the Derelict Outpost Zoo that will one day serve as the basis for hand-placed points of interest first, then the systemic implementation still currently in development. Now, whether it's brand new or 100 years old, each location is a new opportunity for story and gameplay to be found throughout the upcoming Pyro system. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the process of making new things old and then new again is well underway with the Reclaimer and Outpost derelicts. That advanced traversal means additional opportunities for loot and storytelling in the Outlaw space stations. That the Banu Merchantman continues to make its impressive journey through Whitebox, and that the reputation system is on the cusp of expanding into a wide variety of legal and not so legal activities. Now, don't forget the Xenothreat is still underway, and Coramor is almost upon us with slick, iridescent paints, and hopefully no more Valentine's card contests that I have to explain to my mother. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
All right, then. Yeah, that was a pretty good episode. So let's go in order. We'll see what people think. Admiral Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
I think thought it was fantastic. It was filled with like so much stuff. Everything looked great, from the wrecks to the water in the tunnels, which I saw. You know, when you like crawl downstairs and you went in the tunnel and there was like water down there. I'm like, well, obviously we're not going to die when we touch water now. So hopefully, like that will be a thing, and maybe like tip people off if they hear you like kind of sloshing around. I think everybody's question is what's up with the kidnapping, and I thought that was really cool. They had so many like different job specialities and like gameplay loops that you could actually do. So I think I was watching a video today, and they were like, "Oh, well, it's mining and like bounty hunting and like maybe salvage and like something else." And this is like way more than that. So yeah, it looked fantastic, and I kind of want to maybe take over one of these like destroyed buildings in the future and fix them up. So who knows?
Admiral Kusanagi, you may not die when you touch water, but I'm gonna melt because I'm so sweet. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Oh goodness, fast card. I like that this was a full sprint report video dedicated to all of this. There's so much going on and so much that they're kind of playing around with, concepting out the idea of having derelict outposts. I think that is so cool for like exploration. What might you find out there in some of these places that have been long deserted? We talked about the outposts for Jumptown before, and we see here like all of the different things that they might be implementing in some of the newer outposts that might even replace some of the older ones. So you can have these passages underneath crates and in little air vents and things like that that you can crawl through. So there's opportunity for lots of different things to find or to, FPS gameplay or something like that. So there's a lot there. There's so much. They talked about the relay system and how that might affect different systems in your ship. There's just so many different things that they brought up in this one that it shows me that there's a lot going on that we might not even think or remember. The push and pull right here. They're showing how push might actually work in different situations. We've got push and pull, but we didn't think, oh, well, what are we going to use it for? Now we know that there's different ways that could be used. So there's just so much that they put into this 10-minute episode, just showing what they're working on, what's backlogged, what's coming soon, what's in concept. There's just a lot going on, and I love the derelict ships. I really love those. I want to see that derelict reclaimer soon. That's pretty cool.
Cool. And I was remiss. I should have said, if anyone wants to talk with us about this week's Inside Star Citizen, please join us in Discord. Hop into the chat queue or the green room, and we can drag it down for a conversation. The link is in just posted by Nightbot, so come on in. Fifth Space, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, Banu.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I like that. What I saw with that whole gun thing where they were talking about that whole bridge you got to walk up to and how the way it's designed. I love it. I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm intrigued to know what in the world is going to be with this kidnapping. you know. What in the world's going to happen with this kidnapping? Because
Oh,
I'm gonna have to bring my LYOA with me.
I have a question. If I get kidnapped, will you pay my ransom?
Maybe on a
No
Tuesday.
one. Okay, I guess that answers that. And you say Banu. That was from Mork and Mindy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
good one.
Except it was
Kaladi.
Nanu.
Kaladi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, to Fist's point with the kidnapping, I guess kidnapping is kind of like a different version of bounty hunting, right? So, depending on the faction that you affiliate yourself with, that can definitely be a possibility. So one thing that, well, a few things that stood out for me was the wreckage. It was nice to see, how quick the turnaround time is from concept that we discussed. I know that some persons were thinking, all right, we're seeing these concepts, but we may not actually see them anytime soon. I mean, I'm not saying that, who knows, we may not actually see them in game soon, but it's nice to see that they're implementing it into the actual environments and applying all of the details like fire and those things so quickly, from the concepts that they spoke about. So it definitely speaks to the progress that they've made over the years on the engine and art and animation, all those things, and how the Montreal team can just apply it so quickly. The other thing that stood out for me was the alternative or alternate pathways that they showed. I know that the first time we saw that was during the Squadron 42 vertical slice, where the person had gone under this vent, and of course we saw it some more in the Microtech demo, and of course after that was um, in the recent video that I can't seem to remember that I just thought I remembered. But it's nice to see that they're ramping up that kind of application. I'm going to assume that they probably got that from Squadron 42 because that's where we saw it first. It's just nice to see that they're putting in those kinds of things more, those kinds of puzzle ways. Some more, of course, since we saw it from Pyro as well in Citizen last year. And of course, I'm very excited to see the Hull A. And while we may not test it, the cargo functionality in 2.17, who knows? I'm excited that it's coming into the game. The first of the Hull series, and eventually it's one step closer to realizing and understanding how the cargo refactor is really going to work. So yeah.
All right. Option Space, what are your thoughts?
Basically two things. Kidnapping, one of them. I would hope they would bring in a gameplay. Like, okay, you have an org leader, and you could actually plot a way to kidnap that org leader and hold him for ransom for that org. I think that would be really cool to do.
My goodness.
Yeah. Now, I think that, so, that's nice. The other part was, which Kirati just mentioned, those pathways. I always loved, I don't know if anybody remembers the game with Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell. I always loved that sneak and hide, find passageways, not just through the front door, but from the ceiling, below, crawl spaces. And I was so excited to see that. What was Karate was trying to what was it, Citizen? It was just the past one.
Citizen Con.
Oh yeah.
Citizen Con.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Where they had I was so excited to see that. That type of gameplay. I didn't know that I was hoping they would put it in. When I saw that, I was so excited about that. Those points. And obviously I'm not gonna really go too crazy, but Banu. All right, there we go.
Okay, I'll go crazy for you.
Yes,
and speaking of Banu,
yeah.
speaking of Banu, they're on the screen right now. So this whole missile turret thing, I was impressed. I'm surprised and impressed by it. It gave me the whole Cerebro from X-Men vibe.
Good one.
So that's what reminded me of. And I'm interested how the Banu Shrine is going to turn out, because I think they still the concept of it. And I believe it's all the room with the all the shiny stuff in it. But yeah, looking forward to see that in game. As far as the whole A goes, it feels like a Transformer or maybe a GoBot, because it definitely has a certain kind of psycho feel. If anyone remember that old cartoon.
I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
You mentioned the BMM, and when I saw them saying that the turret seat was in that room, and because they didn't say it goes up yet, I thought the whole room was going to show everything around you, kind of like how the Babylon 5
Oh
the
yeah.
Minbari
So
ship
too.
see
Yeah.
the war around. That would be so amazing. I would probably lose my crap if that happened. It would be so amazing. But you
You
go
never
up into
know.
it.
Maybe that's where they took their cue from. You can never know. So,
I
yeah,
might
that's
have to
cool.
write in and be like, I think you just found your answer. You should just stop where you are and just do it right there.
Yeah, also the other thing is, I thought the Drake Vulture, the color kind of looked different from the other Drake ships. Is it just me, or is it kind of off? Because I mean, we had the yellow from the Drake. Well, that's the yellow jacket, but Drake colors normally don't look like that Drake Vulture. Is that me?
I'd have to see it again.
It was
Maybe it's
a bit
not
of
worn
an
yet.
off yellow kind of thing.
It was more like a tan color this time around.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be, though, because they've been showing it in a couple different ways. We'll have to wait to see when it gets released.
And they were saying
Yeah.
that they're working on degradation or wear, so maybe that might be like a worn look to it.
Oh, okay. No, this look pretty new, but yeah, you never know. The other thing is the reputation passing system. I thought that was kind of interesting. The sanity pass on the OSI Scorpius. I think there's a lot of people in the community who need the sanity pass, but
That wasn't the Scorpius though, Fast Cart. I don't think was it.
The
I thought
Mantis.
that was the Mantis.
Mm-hmm.
Mantis? I thought
Yeah, it was the Mantis.
Okay.
Mantis.
So they're working on the Scorpius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, those are my thoughts. So what about you, Griffin?
Oh, like everybody said, a lot of good stuff in here. Definitely excited about the additional hangars that they're putting in the rings. It makes the whole facility be a little bit more alive, not just dedicated to certain parts and other parts have no function. So I love that. The whole I love the configuration design they came up with for bringing the wings in on the whole series ships. That animation just looks really amazing, and it seems like they've changed the way the grid is laid out too, so it can handle a variety of sizes of boxes, which should be pretty interesting. And there was one other thing. It wasn't the Banu Merchantman, because you guys have talked about that. I have to wait till the video rolls around again. But
Okay.
those were there was a third thing that was right around those same things, and I really liked, like DK said, the fact that they kind of dedicated this whole thing to the sprint reporting was pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I have
I
a
was going to
question about
throw
the.
in there. Oh,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to throw in there. You mentioned in the animation of the Hall A, and the first thing I thought was, did they get a German automaker to go in there and over-engineer?
There's a lot of
Well,
moving
they do.
parts
They
in
are in
there.
Germany.
A lot of
They have
moving parts in there. Oh, I know what the other thing was I was going to mention. I think it was what Calrati was talking about, was the pathways. And Calrati, to your point, I'm starting to wonder, in light of what we heard about the roadmap last week, whether CIG is also going to start custom tailoring these shows to also reflect things that are much more further along than things that are so far out. I know that they stopped doing that a few years ago, and the last Citizen Cons, they started trying to say, this is where we are right now versus this is what we want to do 5 years from now. So that pathway thing that we saw, and I think what you were talking about was what we saw at CitizenCon when they showed Pyro, was the other time they showed the pathfinding. So I really am excited about the fact that, one thing that's great about Star Citizen, I've heard so many people say this, is that the fact that Chris is designing this game so that when you look at something, there's a good possibility that it has some meaning in the game and it's not just aesthetic or decorative. So to be able to look around in a room and look up and see a catwalk above you and realize, is there possibly a way for me to get up there? Versus, oh, it's just up there for decoration's sake. I like that about the game. The pushing the one, what was it, a crate or something that they moved over and it led down into the sewers, which led down into a watered sewer system. I mean, that type of stuff is cool to me. And the fact that we'll have to find that in game, or when somebody's chasing you and you run into a building and you know that you could maybe find a place to hide, that's just so cool to me. I like all that.
The other thing about the Hall A is that the animation was pretty quick. So it makes me wonder how long it'll take when it gets to the Hull C, Hull D, and Hull E. How long the animation will take for all those I forgot for everything to retract and collapse. I think like the Hull E may take like 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
No, I don't think so. No, because to be honest with you, Fast Card, think about the way it's designed. It's just that it's not that there are more of them stacked on top of each other. It's just lengthwise more of them and height-wise more of them. So it's not like you have multi-layers of them. So they'll probably all collapse within 10, 15 seconds. I don't think you're going to
I don't know for the
have a long thing. The design is no different, Fast Card. They just go further back. It's not like you're stacking one, then having to stack another, then stack another. They all stack at the same time, and they all retrieve at the same time.
But my thing is, it's a size. Even though it doesn't stack, it's a size. You're gonna have those long.
I tell you what. If I'm wrong, I'll buy you a Hull C. How's that?
All right. So
publicly.
So wait. What do I have to do if I'm wrong then?
Nothing.
All right, so
wait a minute. Stop telling jokes on the show. How about that?
No bad.
I knew he wouldn't go for that.
So you're saying 15, 20 seconds, or did you say 15 seconds?
I'm saying no more than 15 seconds. No more than
15 seconds
if
for the
that
whole
long.
league.
Yeah, but you got to take the other half of the bet. I mean, that's not going to be a one-sided bet. We're not going for that bet, guys. It was a nice idea.
Okay.
It was a nice idea. That would break him. He'd blow up. His head would explode one day. So I can't let his head explode.
He wouldn't.
I'll be like the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Total Recall at the end. So
just be gone.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing, if I can. Kind of going to what DK said. This episode, 10 minutes, but it was so much in here. And I kind of look at it and see it, but I always look at it from a positive way. CIG can be their own worst enemy in a good way. I see it because they show you so much. They get you so excited. We want to see, from the Banu, the design, and all of that, they get us all worked up. And I can understand why people get disappointed in it because they do. But it also gives me confidence because they're going so deep, so into detail. You just know the things that they keep coming up with is just going to just get better and better.
And, you know,
add on
Pops.
to that.
Sure,
Yeah,
Fitz, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Fitz, go
No,
ahead.
I was just going to add on to that and say that, and Dad is right. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really look at any more of their concept arts, because it is so good. Because I've learned over the years of waiting for games, that have been got me hyped up, quote unquote. I've learned to just kind of step away and kind of take my focus and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the way I don't become that salt, that you see.
Yeah.
So
It's a unique thing that CIG is doing this, seeing behind the, curtain kind of thing, which for most games, you don't see this level of detail. And it also becomes, people always say this, people like Paul Shelley and a lot of other people talk about manage your expectations.
right.
There are a lot of things that we may see that is intended to happen, and CIG can have the best intention to make it happen, and yet it never sees the light of day in the game. And so, you have to kind of say, this is what they would like to be able to do. This is what they're working on making happen, but you can never say it's a done deal until it's in the game, I'll be right back.
No, I was just going to say, well, Griffin had to step away, but I was going to mean it, but I can't say I won't tell another joke, because that's who I am, but I won't sing a rap on stream. Maybe she'll go for that.
Nope, he ain't going for that. You can't tell him.
Or maybe we can make it a whole B instead of a whole C for no singing and rapping. All right, so next up we have the Black History Month. Oh, Griffin, you're back. So I was just saying. So how about instead of a whole C, make it a whole B, and if I lose, I won't sing a rap on the stream.
That's too easy, Chris.
No, yeah, that's too
Don't fall for
easy.
that.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Don't fall for that.
All right. So Black History Month. You want to give us a rundown, Griffin?
Yeah, we are. In fact, this name came up before. We're celebrating Dr. Guion Bluford. Many people may remember him, may not remember him. I'm going to let the video tell the story, and then we can talk about it a little bit more. But it's a name, a face that you might remember, but you may not remember the name. But they used to call him Guy. So let's take a look at it.
6,
oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
5,
Before we go any further, we're also doing a giveaway tonight. We're giving away a soul pack. So you guys type
Yeah, I was going to do that after the video.
Oh, okay. I got to put the thing in. Okay.
Yeah.
1. We have ignition and we have liftoff.
Space Shuttle mission number 8, August 30th, 1983.
Standing by for main engine throttle down to control.
Historic in several ways. While it was the third flight for Challenger, it was the first launch and landing at night, which the weather threatened to postpone. It was also the first flight for Dr. Guion Bluford, better known as Guy. What was it like being the first African American in space?
It was my job to do the best job possible to open up opportunities for other African Americans. I also knew that I wanted to set the standard, to make people realize that African Americans are very competent.
President Ronald Reagan wasted no time in touting Bluford's accomplishment.
Guy, congratulations. You, I think, are paving the way for many others.
There is no question that he helped break the color barrier in the astronaut office. Guy came in with a PhD, fighter pilot in the Air Force. He had all the credentials and didn't need to explain anything to anybody.
I grew up in a world where I could do anything I wanted to do, so it didn't seem unusual for me to want to be an aerospace engineer.
And then that first flight, the one that almost didn't happen as scheduled.
I can remember vividly their departure from the crew quarters that night to go to the pad. We were in the middle of a thunderstorm. We had just seen this big bolt of lightning strike the tower. Guy and Dick Truly, their commander, just kind of casually strolled out of the van through the rain, got aboard.
Not only am I the first African American to fly in space, but I'm the first African American to have flown a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time.
Bluford flew 4 missions, logging more than 688 hours in space before retiring from NASA in 1993.
I was impressed with the machine. You know, I'm on orbit in this machine going at 18,000 miles an hour, and I'm in awe of it.
I think Guy not only was a mentor and a role model to me as an African-American male, but I think over time, Guy became a role model to everyone who saw him.
I'm a firm believer in encouraging people to chase their dream, feel confident that you can get there, plan to succeed.
What do you want your legacy to be?
That I left behind a world that's enriched by what I've done.
Oh yes, that was Guy Bluford, the first African American in space. So that was pretty cool. And I believe there's now you put you put the link in Twitch chat. So that's from the Weather Channel.
That's so cool. He really made inroads to for a lot of African Americans within space, because that was a huge step right there. It's a very, very privileged group to be able to go into space.
So do you think Nichelle Nichols helped get him in?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good point.
I also think of him being one possibly that I know she hasn't been in space, but a young lady named Alexandria Pierman. She's an audio engineer for NASA.
Mm.
Yeah, so I followed her, you know, in her career and everything as an audio engineer and everything. So
Okay.
Yeah,
You have any
I
final
was
thoughts
thinking.
about the video, Griffin?
Yeah, we want to encourage everybody, and please forgive me. We had the wrong exclamation point. And DK, my brain was fried earlier when you put that
No,
in.
it's
I
okay.
apologize.
No problem. I saw it pop up and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was last week. Yeah, guys, if you want to put in exclamation point Guy, if you'd like to be in the raffle for a Soul Pack this week, we're giving away a Soul Citizens t-shirt, Soul Citizens mug, Soul Citizens mouse pad. You get all three if you are the winner of the giveaway. So type in exclamation point Guy, Guy, and that will get you in. You know, one of the things I had honestly forgotten about him, because the person who always stuck in my mind was Ronald McNair from the Challenger disaster. And I had totally forgotten about Guy, the fact that he had gone up several times. In fact, I had forgotten he was the first one. I know he had done some other missions, but I totally forgotten that he was the first African-American male to go up into space. And I loved his attitude about how he just kind of grew up figuring he would do it. And if there was anything he could do, he'd pull it off. And test pilot, officer in the military, a whole bunch of great stuff about him, which was pretty cool. Scientist, very cool.
Determination paid off.
A woman asked if it's American shipping only for the giveaway.
Ooh, Molman, you would ask me that. You know, I don't know if Streamlabs will do anything outside of the U.S. because we haven't. I would tell you to go ahead and put in for it because we have sent things out internationally before, and I'll make it happen regardless. So yes, go ahead and put in for it, even if I have to ship it to myself and then ship it to you. So don't hesitate if you're not in the U.S. to join the giveaway. We'd love to have you guys sign up for it. Exclamation point Guy.
And also, I want to say you can become a soul bro, or soul sis, or a soulmate by joining our YouTube channel. So if you wanted to put it there, you can. So, Soul Citizen membership has its privilege. That's the video.
Yeah, you get to see our videos a little bit earlier. It's not like a lot earlier, but you do that. And we are going to be launching something new on YouTube fairly soon. I'm just trying to get it all together and try to announce it on our 100th show coming up in a few weeks. So, yeah, if you want to get in and join our channel and support us that way, because people have asked, how can we support you other than Twitch or doing Patreon? And if you want to do, it's a little bit cheaper if you do it on YouTube too. So if you want to support us that way, we'd really appreciate it.
I just want to just add in there real quick that it's just when you look at, I think, people like his stature, who was an Air Force fighter pilot, and he was an engineer, and he was able to kind of get around using the service to like kind of get it to get I should say get ahead, I guess, but to be put into positions that his skills could be used at a greater extent. I think
Mhm.
that the Air Force, especially the Air Force, in the military has kind of I think opened the gates a little quicker in
Mhm.
some industries, especially when it came to NASA and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Recently, just this past week, I just got a new boss where I work, and I write contracts to the government, and she's an African American, and she's now in charge of a $4 billion organization. So I just think this is one of those things where it's fan. I see it like in a different kind of level, because of where I work, and the people that I work with could be officers in the military or could be civilians. So it's just very cool to see him to be able to work his way up into going into space. So yeah, fantastic. I take a lot of pride in that, and sure his service was amazing. So a lot of credit to him and the people that came back after him.
Very
Thank
cool.
you for that. Yeah, so the keyword is exclamation point guy. You want to talk about our next show and then do the giveaway, or you want to do it?
Sure. This again, we want to encourage you guys to visit our Twitter page, Soul Citizens on Twitter. We've got some survey questions that are going out. They're already out there now. There's going to be some more tomorrow that will help us with our show on Sunday, which is called The Last Starship That You Never Fly, or that you won't fly. And so if you don't fly ships because they're ugly, or because they don't handle well, or because you have buyer's remorse for it, those will be the things that the panel will be talking about. And hopefully we'll be able to take some of the information that you guys give us through the Twitter page to also see what the community says is the ship that they just don't like, or it's just sitting in their hangar and they're never going to unmelt it. So that's going to be this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at Soul Citizens twitch.tv/Soul Citizens, right where we are now.
And that's I believe that's 1 a.m. UTC. So if you're not in the U.S. or you're not familiar with the U.S. time zone, it's 1 a.m. UTC. So please join us and check us out.
And before I just want to make sure to thank Buster the Destroyer and Miss Hearts for rating us earlier. And
Yes.
Thank you.
for those
Thank you.
that can find time to check them out, please find them there. There's their links.
Yep,
Thank you. All right, we got everybody in. Everybody who wants to go for the role on the T-shirt, the mug, and the mat, we're going to get ready to do it. And we'll do 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Okay.
I won.
That's weird.
Darkness meter of suspense. Yep.
Is it rigged? That's weird. It didn't do anything. All right. We may have to have everybody re-enter again. For some reason, it's like froze up. It didn't do squat. Yeah, it won't do it. Let me reload the page.
I blame Windows.
Blame Chrome.
Oh, it's part of it. It's in Windows. So, can they enter now, or you want to?
Yes. Yes. Please,
Okay.
Once again, guys, exclamation point guy one more time. My apologies for that. Don't know what's going on with Chrome tonight, but it did not want to even roll.
Oh, well, just Bam just asked what is the topic. Currently, we just had a mishap, so we're re-entering a giveaway type exclamation point guy, and if you win, you'll ship you a Soul Citizen T-shirt, mug, and mouse pad. It's so fan pack. So please enter if you want to try it, and good luck to everybody.
All right, here we go. We'll do 3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay, there you go. Marzipan has won. Please respond in Trip Chat.
That was a close one too. They just entered.
Yeah, you just in. You were one of the last three. There you go, Marzipan. So yes, I believe you're in our Discord. So you probably how do you want to do this, Griffin?
Yeah, Marzipan, if you want to send us a DM in Twitch, you can do that. I need to have your mailing address as also your shirt size, or you can send it to soulcitizens@gmail.com. Soulcitizens with an S at gmail.com. Make sure you send that information.
Yep, and congrats again, Marzipan. Before we head out, I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined us. Remember, our next show is going to be the last Starship you'll ever fly. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, or 1 a.m. UTC. I want to thank Admiral Kusanagi, Dark Knight, Fistaface, Calvadian, Austin for joining us tonight. And also thank you for Griffin for co-hosting with me. Appreciate it as always. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, obviously. And you can, if you like our merchandise, you can go to our merchandise store. We sell t-shirts, mugs, gamepads, and hats.
And a lot more stuff than that now too. We added about 8 other new items. Bunch of stuff.
So you have the hoodie, the sweatshirt,
key rings, all types of stuff, glasses.
Oh, really?
Water bottles, whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, go check it out.
Okay, I got to check that out then. So I have to update my thing. But now we're going to raid Studs Up Grim. So make sure you send them my love. And with that, I want to say peace, love, and soul. Thank you.